Welcome to Agenda Edina, a news program summarizing the actions taken in these chambers that affect you most. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty. The city of Edina earns an edge when it comes to saving taxpayers' money. Two of the country's prominent independent bond rating agencies have again given the city of Edina their highest marks. Standard & Poor's and Moody's investors recently affirmed their AAA bond ratings for the city. Edina is one of just a few communities in the state with AAA ratings from both agencies. The high bond ratings allow Edina to issue its debt with the lowest possible interest and cost to the taxpayer.
It not only is recognition of the financial wherewithal of our organization, but it is also a testament to the great city and great community we have.
In November, the Edina City Council sold bonds to construct the city's new public works facility and make improvements at Braemar Arena. The city plans to use these bond proceeds to complete a $2.18 million renovation of the mechanical systems in Braemar's West Arena and install a new hybrid dehumidification system in the East Arena. Braemar Arena's West Arena was built in 1965. Arena officials say the original mechanical ice rink floor and heating and cooling systems that are still in use have long exceeded their useful life. And they're worried that a failure in the ice rink floor system would result in a sudden loss of indoor ice for the entire winter skating season. Several groups, including the Edina High School varsity hockey program, play in the 3,000-seat stadium.
The ice quality will be easier to maintain, and I think the efficiency, energy costs, and some of those things should be easier to maintain and keep in control.
Construction is set to begin in May 2010 with completion in October. For 4 decades, one local organization has worked to preserve Edina's history. Edina 16's Brian Smith shows us how the Edina Historical Society recently celebrated its Ruby anniversary.
Our history is part of our future, and keeping our history alive is no easy task. But the Edina Historical Society has been doing it for the last 40 years.
The history that you're thinking about and talking about is important to everybody, because that's the history of your family, the history of the community, the history of the state and the country.
The Edina Historical Society gives kids the chance to experience how their grandparents went to school and the important history of Edina's one-room schoolhouse.
The kids should learn the history. Why is our schools the way they are today? Because of the one-room schoolhouse where you learn your reading, writing, and arithmetic. It's all very important.
Fred Johnson, author of Suburban Dawn, The Emergence of Richfield, Edina, and Bloomington, tells many stories in his book about Edina history and how Edina got its nickname.
Edina's teams were so good, the people unhappy with their success called them cake eaters to put them down, that they were rich.
There are some things in the past that we cannot change, but sometimes it's best just to embrace them.
Learn to accept and even turn the cake eater syndrome, the cake eater taunts around, and say, fine, call us cake eaters, it doesn't bother us.
Whether it be a one-room schoolhouse or just some fun stories from Edina's past, the Edina Historical Society is bringing people together to learn about Edina's history. Enjoy your cake. I'm Brian Smith, Edina 16.
The Edina Historical Society is selling holiday ornaments that commemorate local history. The ornaments are available in the museum's gift shop during regular museum hours. The votes have been counted and recounted, and the results are now official. Elected to the school board in November's general election were Adit Almog, Randy Meyer, Regina Neville, and Lonnie Skretner. Skretner edged out incumbent Jeff Johnson by less than 20 votes. Johnson requested a recount, which Edina City Clerk Deborah Mangan and a team of election staff and judges completed the week after the election. Megan attributes the accuracy and efficiency of Edina's election process to the election judges who serve their community. Here with the story on one special judge is Edina 16's Aaron Klein and Jennifer Benerot.
When Colleen Crew graduated from Spring Valley High School in 1947, Many of the boys in her southeastern Minnesota class went off to serve their country in the Korean War.
We really need women in the service. And one of my cousins was going in the Air Force. I said, I think I'll go in the Air Force too.
Hearing Uncle Sam's call, Colleen signed on for the Women in the Air Force. All WAFs were assigned ground duties, mostly ending up in clerical and medical positions.
I was one of the few girls in Spring Valley that ever went into the service.
Though Colleen was discharged, she still actively serves her country.
Colleen, I want you to be an election judge, will you? And I said, yeah, I suppose I could.
She has traded in her uniforms for a red, white, and blue vest and name tag designating her as an election judge in Edina.
It's kind of a civic duty. You know, you have to give back sometime.
Colleen has been an election judge for Precinct 9 at Concord Elementary School nearly every year since the 1980s. She has been a co-chair of the precinct for the last several.
They probably figure out that I'm running it just like a sergeant in the Air Force.
Election judges need to be fair, practical. They're the guardians of democracy.
Couldn't get everything figured out so that everything's perfect for Debbie.
I look for them to be able to run their precincts so that their neighbors can come in and vote their ballots in a neutral, comfortable background.
But representing Edina's city clerk isn't the only reason Colleen has served as an election judge for the past 20-plus years. She enjoys seeing her friends and neighbors and assisting them while they fulfill their civic duty.
I don't think there's anyone she doesn't know in our precinct. She greets everyone with a huge smile, and if she has forgotten their name, they don't know it.
I had somebody at Woman Club yesterday, and they said, will I see you on Tuesday? I said, will I see you on Tuesday? And she says, oh yeah, if I can get out of bed, I'll be there. You know?
Along with Jennifer Bennerat, I'm Aaron Klein, Edina 16.
Would you like to be involved in local government? Now is your chance. The Edina City Council is now accepting applications for its advisory boards and commissions. Vacancies are anticipated on the Arts Center Board, Board of Appeal and Equalization, Community Health Committee, Heritage Preservation Board, Park Board, Transportation Commission, and Zoning Board of Appeals and Adjustments. Most volunteer positions are 3-year terms. Applications must be received at Edina City Hall by 4:30 p.m. Wednesday, December 23rd. The City Council intends to interview all applicants. Interview dates are January 5th, 6th, and 19th. Appointments will be made in early 2010. Coming up later in the program, the perfect holiday gift for your dog. But first, how one Edina energy and environment activist is taking his message across the globe when we return.
His name is Fred. Yeah, he's here about 4 months out of the year. The other patrons get to know him pretty well. But the guy totally thinks he's outside. Now, it is the largest, longest hitting golf dome in the Twin Cities, so I guess I could see where he's coming from. Maybe someone should tell him, though.
Yes!
Or maybe not.
Here we go.
Piling up snow in the street.
Not cool.
And blowing snow into your neighbor's property.
Not cool.
Edina law states that if you have a sidewalk on your property, you must keep it plowed or shoveled for the safety of you and your neighbors.
That is cool. Same goes for a fire hydrant if it's on your property.
Also cool. Proper snow removal makes our neighborhood safer, and that's the coolest of all.
Wow, those guys are cool.
Welcome back to Agenda Edina. One of Edina's Energy and Environment Commission members is traveling across the ocean to lobby for change. Paul Thompson will attend the UN Convention on Climate Change in Copenhagen, Denmark later this month as they attempt to draft a new global climate treaty. The current treaty expires in 2012. In Denmark, Thompson will represent Edina and volunteer time with Expedition Copenhagen, a program meant to empower 12 youth from the Midwest in climate action leadership. He will also work with the 350 team to lobby conventioneers in an attempt to make 350 parts per million of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere the benchmark in the climate treaty. Thompson will meet with local schools and small city officials to present the possibility of forming a city-to-city and school-to-school partnership with Edina.
So I just want to thank Edina for putting their trust in me to represent them. And I commit to really going to learn, to share, to have a great time, and to communicate people's local voice and how important that is.
While Thompson's work is supported by the Energy and Environment Commission, his trip is not a city-sanctioned event. Thompson is paying for all his own expenses. Edina residents and city officials welcomed the holiday season at the community's annual tree lighting ceremony in downtown Edina.
Let's have light. All right, way to go.
The 50th in France Business and Professional Association erects a pine each year on the north side of West 50th Street. This year's tree was decorated by Garden Gate Flowers, a local florist. Several hundred people turned out for the tree lighting event, which was held the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
This tree lighting event down at 50th in France, where it's evolved over time from just a bare tree to a beautifully decorated tree with nice lights. And I think the community has really embraced it. There were many, many people here tonight.
At the tree lighting ceremony, the 50th in France Association also collected food for a local charity. With unemployment rates high and the number of working poor continuing to rise, more and more people are turning to food shelves to help put food on the table. Edina 16's Marty Dahl shows us how one local charity is helping those in need eliminate their grocery bill.
As you can see, it's kind of like a little store.
This store is the food pantry operated by Veap.
Veap actually stands for Volunteers Enlisted to Assist People.
Located in Bloomington, just off West 98th and Irving Avenue, Veap's food pantry serves between 80 and 120 families in need every day.
We've seen record numbers with the economy the way it is.
Serving the residents of Edina, Bloomington, Richfield, and South Minneapolis, the food pantry is set up like any typical grocery store.
It's an opportunity for families to come and select the items that they really need the most.
But unlike your typical grocery store, patrons here don't pay with cash or credit.
We do a point system, and so based on how big their family is, they get so many points.
Each family who shops the pantry is given up to 30 points to spend on things like canned goods, frozen meats, hygiene products, and even sweets. Nothing costs more than 1 point. But some items can be even less.
Canned beans actually are a no-point item because we get so many.
30% of the food found on Veap's shelves comes from individuals and organized food drives, like the one held in October by Minnesota's municipal liquor stores.
Last year we collected over 11 tons of food.
For the second year, Edina Liquor collected nearly 500 pounds of food to put toward that 11-ton total, which helps stock food shelves across the state.
This is a way that they in the community can be involved and give something back.
Food that comes straight from your kitchen pantry to, you guessed it.
Exactly, straight to the shelves, yep.
For photographer Aaron Klein, this is Marty Dahl, Edina 16.
Veap officials say the food pantry's most needed items are typically dry beans and rice. They are also always looking for more volunteers. Dog owners, don't forget to put Fido on your holiday shopping list this year. And what better gift than a city dog license? All dog licenses in Edina expire December 31st, so now is the time to renew. Edina 16's Nathalie Gage has more on the importance of having your dog licensed.
Lola, 40. No, sit.
20th century author Terry Kay once observed, one of the most enduring friendships in history, that of dogs and their people, that of people and their dogs.
I own one dog. Her name is Sadie.
I own one, a chocolate lab golden retriever mix.
And there are few places where this friendship is more valued than in the city of Edina.
Extremely dog-friendly community. There's a lot of people who have dogs here.
The experience I've had here has been wonderful. I've met people here, they're dog lovers, I'm a dog lover.
But with the joys of dog ownership come responsibilities. Among them, the need to purchase a license.
Every dog over the age of 6 months is required to be licensed.
So it's $10 if they're spayed or neutered, $15 if they're not.
And then it's renewed every calendar year, so it expires December 31st of that year.
And of course, the need to purchase an off-leash park permit should you and your fuzzy friend wish to visit.
The dog park is a very popular thing. Not a lot of cities have it.
The off-leash park permit costs $25, and that is in the form of a colored collar.
Not only is dog licensing a safeguarding measure for your pet,
The tracking of the licenses has been put into an Excel database, which helps us find owners a lot faster than it did before.
but it's also the law.
Penalties for violation of any of the animal ordinances can result in a citation. Generally, right now, it's in the neighborhood of about $125 per violation.
Conversely, owning an off-leash park permit is optional.
Sadie. It's Sadie the lady.
But if it were up to your dog, regular visits to Van Valkenburg might be mandated as well.
It's just basically a dog heaven.
This is Nathalie Gage reporting for Edina 16.
Dog licenses can be renewed in person at City Hall or online. Off-leash dog park permits can also be purchased. We've heard from our viewers and thank you for your input. Each month on Agenda Edina, we will highlight some of the many upcoming events in our community. The Edina Chorale will present its holiday cabaret and concert this month. Peace on Earth features the music of Mendelssohn, Olaf, Rudder, and favorite carols. The cabaret concert will be held at 7:30 p.m. Saturday, December 12th at the Mahan Center at St. Patrick's Catholic Church. The traditional concert will be held at 3 p.m. Sunday, December 13th in the sanctuary at St. Patrick's. In observance of Christmas, City Hall will close at noon December 24th and will be closed December 25th. City Hall will also close at noon on New Year's Eve and remain closed on New Year's Day. Edinburgh Park will host a New Year's Eve family celebration from 6 to 9 p.m. December 31st. The event includes food, dancing, and games. The countdown to bring in the new year will begin at the stroke of 8 o'clock, giving little ones time to celebrate and go to bed on time. Thanks for watching this month's episode of Agenda Edina. On behalf of the entire Edina 16 staff, happy holidays. We look forward to seeing you in the new year. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty.